What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Dylan Zachary and I'm a graphic designer and music enthusiast. So today we're going to be checking out some designs I did that are for like a graphic design merch idea that I had. I got this idea about a month ago and I kind of wanted to just try it out and see what came of it, and I had a couple cool designs that I came up with, so I'm kind of interested in it. I want to make a quick video on this and just explain my ideas and my thought process on it. So basically it's just graphic designer inspired merch. So I have t-shirts, hats, a tote bag, some socks, and they all are graphic design themed. So this is just a little fun thing that I thought of. I just wanted to see what would come of it when I opened my programs and was just letting the juices flow. So yeah, let's get into that project and I'll explain why I did what I did. But first, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out so much to a small-time YouTuber, content creator, graphic designer. We hit our first milestone of 100 subscribers and I thank you guys so much for that. I hope you guys are enjoying the content out there. We release content every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and shorts every Friday at 9 a.m. So make sure you check that out. We're always dropping new content. We're always coming up with great ideas and doing new things. If you guys have any ideas, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. So anyway, into the content. Here we go. So as you can see here, this is all graphic design inspired merchandise, and what I wanted to do is just like if I was to create like a shop or anything, or like if I was to have like a mini tour or something, not that you'd be touring as a graphic designer, but like it's a music inspired channel and I love concerts and music, so that's what I kind of took it as. So if I was to create a shop on like a website per se of like, you know, a Dylan & Co website, this is what I would like to do. I'd like to do like summer and fall drops and every once in a while and just kind of, you know, let my creativeness go and just see where it takes me, and that's what happened here, and this is what we did. This is all graphic design inspired merchandise, and yes, let me explain here. So here's my logo that we use on most of the designs that we did with this graphic design merchandise. Basically, this is the logo that I created at the top of the year for my YouTube channel and for all of my future design works. I've made a whole video on this if you want to check that out. I'll leave a link up here, me explaining my whole brand identity that I created at the top of the year for my YouTube channel, and that's what this is, a very industrial, robust looking design here, almost like a construction company, or, you know, just very industrial looking. That was the whole goal with this. Usually I have like a neon color in there. This is just a straight up black logo type. Yeah, so this is what I use in a lot of the designs, so obviously I want to incorporate that. This is a straight up, very plain Jane typeface here. I wanted to use a font that was strictly like you would see everywhere in like a newspaper or a magazine, or, you know, just around the world, anywhere. I wanted something very simple and to the point. As you can see, it's all lowercase. That's strictly aesthetic purposes only, and then we added the period in there too for aesthetic purposes too. And here's the lorem ipsum that I created. You can see the little bubble stroke that I just made just to make it more fun and playful and make it more of a logo type. Straight, simple, awesome, stands out, would look great on any garment in my opinion. Okay, on to the designs themselves now. As you can see here, this is an awesome garment mock-up that I have here. I think I got this from Black Market. If not, I got it from Duran Studios on YouTube. Awesome garment here. It's washed out, very vintage looking, which I love. That's the aesthetic that I try to go for with my designs and everything. We took that graphic design typeface that we used and we put it on this t-shirt here, and like I said, I was keeping it very simple and I just wanted something very plain Jane, and it just said graphic designer to kind of obviously stand for all the graphic designers out there, and I just flipped it and did a 180-degree spin on it, and now it's upside down, and I just wanted it to say graphic designer upside down. It's kind of appealing to the eyeball when you first look at it and you kind of do a double take and you're like, what does it exactly say, until you realize it says graphic designer. Yeah, I just wanted to do something fun with that. On the back here you can see the rustic faded worn look of the logo of the Dylan & Company, and that's just at the top of the base of the neck there. I was going to incorporate it on the sleeve too, but I just decided that the base of the neck was like a great spot for it because it's small and it's just at the top there, and obviously you want your logo on there because then if people look at it and you're like, oh, graphic designer on the front and on the back, you could be like, yes, that's my YouTube channel or my company, or if I have a website and I'm promoting these products, I could be like, hey, I have a whole website based around Dylan & Company, and I sell t-shirts, and that's where you can get it, at Dylan & Company. I'm just using a plain Jane background, another texture that I have. It's a very gritty looking background. I love it. And then you got the logo down at the bottom. Just a placeholder to, you know, promote the product and everything. And then as you can see here, we got this awesome hat mock-up. I got the logo on the side of the hat right there. This says Dylan & Company, obviously to represent my brand. And then the graphic designer flipped upside down on the hat. I love that it's upside down. For some reason, it's just really appealing to me. I really dig it. On to the next one. This is the lorem ipsum design. So like I said, I wanted it fun, playful, and I wanted it to stand out. So on this one, we got the white background with the lorem ipsum in black popping out at you. You can't really see like the stroke as you can see it on a white background in the original logo that I showed you, but the stroke is still there and it's still a black stroke. with the white background and the lorem ipsum really popping out at you. Once again, with the faded t-shirt, I think it looks really cool, and you got that, you know, that rustic look to it. It's got that distressed feel to it. And then here's the back. So we got lorem ipsum blowing up real big. And as you can see here in the logo, I do not have a stroke on this one anymore. And the lorem ipsum kind of blends in with the t-shirt a little bit better. And I think that's really, really cool, blown up as a big back piece. And then we got Dylan and Company smushed in there with the lorem ipsum design. It kind of reminds me of a dog bone, looking at it this blown up and with no stroke to kind of like break it up a little bit. But I still think it's cool. It's very blobby, very fun. I would absolutely wear this t-shirt. I think it's really, really cool. The design aspect behind it is really simple, but it stands out. And anybody who's a graphic designer knows what lorem ipsum is, so it's kind of like the irony, and it's hilarious, I think. Of course, you got to have the watermark of my company, just in case. If I was to make these t-shirts, again, you can explain where it comes from. The Dylan & Company now has the white background to it, so it kind of makes it pop a little bit more, and you always want it to pop and stand out, so it's not like hard to read or isn't visible enough for people to read. And then here we go. I just did this little fun little crew neck t-shirt thing. You can see it's layered, got a long sleeve, and then over top you got the short sleeve. Another fun little piece. You got the lorem ipsum. The stroke and the white background is more visible. It's not as like, you know, distressed. And then we got the Dylan & Company with no white background this time. Just layered up the sleeve, and you can see it's like it's got multiple layers to the Dylan & Company. So basically I would just take it and put it all the way up the sleeve with the logo. Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool design if I was to implement that on a t-shirt or any type of garment. I think it's a really cool design. It's a really cool way to incorporate my logo into the t-shirt design without being too gaudy or too much. I think it's really refreshing and really cool looking. Here's a lorem ipsum hat design. I don't really like this one. I do like the way that the stitching came out on the mock-up itself. I think this area right here is really, really cool with the lorem ipsum, and it looks like it's stitched on. We use the white Dylan & Company logo again because it stands out on the black hat. And I love the back of the hat too because it's the strap back style hat, which is my favorite. The snapbacks are really cool too, but like the strap back is where it's at. We don't do Velcro around here. I would never ever produce a Velcro hat. Ever. And here is a lorem ipsum bag. I don't really know if I would do a bag if I really was to do a merch drop. We do use bags here in New Jersey more now than ever because we don't have plastic bags at our stores anymore. I am constantly using a canvas bag when I'm going to stores, so that's kind of why I included it, just because people might use a canvas bag. I know New York is notorious for using canvas bags. I know Los Angeles is notorious for using canvas bags when shopping, and Jersey is now too, so that's why I included this. I would like to tweak it, maybe do like a multiple patterned lorem ipsum, so like lorem ipsum all the way through, like going in a diagonal style. I think that'd really be cool. I don't know if I necessarily just like this with the lorem ipsum real big in the front and then the Dylan & Co at the very bottom left hand corner. I don't really know if I dig that so much. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But anyway, we did the design anyway, and that's what we got. So I might have to mess with that more in the future. Maybe I'll make another video on that and whatnot. And this one is fun because I've used this on multiple of my videos where I'm like, textures. You got to use textures. It's one of my favorite things to do still. I love using textures. I use textures all the time, whether that be like a distressing texture like brush or anything, or just dropping like this texture that we have in the background behind the socks here. Textures in Photoshop specifically, they make the design so much better and so much more alive and so much more cool in my personal opinion. So we got the sock mock up here, and it just says textures with this almost typewriter typeface, gritty, you know, distorted font. I think it's really cool. I could definitely see a graphic designer rocking these kind of socks. I think they're really neat. I kind of want to make them for myself, not gonna lie. And I'd make them super, super cozy too, because everybody loves some cozy socks, especially in the wintertime. And here, this was completely out of right field. I just wanted to try something completely different. So I went on Unsplashed and I grabbed any robotic style close-up picture that I could find. And this was a toy robot, almost looked like a 50s style toy. So basically I took that, dropped that into Photoshop, cut off the head and grabbed the heads. I grabbed the head specifically and just zoomed in on it and then gave it some levels and just superimposed on the face itself and just distorted the hell out of it. And then it just dropped some textures over top of it, and then just for messing with the colors and everything. And I added a little bit of a hue and saturation too to bring out the whites and the blacks and kind of make the white pop more than the black, and just, you know, mess with the shadows and all that stuff. But anyway, then we took that and then we added this little pill looking shape here, and then we put in this aesthetically driven AI forbidden Dylan & Company, real distorted, really hard to read. and threw that in on this shirt here. Basically, at that time when I was designing this shirt, I was doing like a deep dive on AI based stuff. I've told this to many people now, so AI is a huge help to the everyday average user and normal people out there. I use AI stuff all the time. ChatGPT I'm using constantly all the time. As a graphic designer, I absolutely hate AI because people could just type in anything and get any random logo or random idea or anything that you want. You could type into that and they can create it right on the spot. And as a graphic designer, when you want to create stuff for people, for anybody that have that kind of technology at their disposal, is kind of like, it's a little lackluster for a graphic designer, because that's exactly what we're in business for, is to create awesome imagery and awesome designs. For anybody to just go in and type in on any AI driven browser and just get an image at any moment within 2 seconds, it kind of diminishes the fact of what we do for fun and for a living as graphic designers. But I do support AI as a normal, average, everyday person, just looking up random facts and information and just kind of getting tips and tricks on even, some design work too. Sometimes I ask it questions about like, hey, should I do this for this design, or should I do that for this design, or give me some inspiration for this. I do use AI for that. As a graphic designer, I don't like AI. As a normal, everyday person, I do love AI. So it's a love-hate interest with this, to be honest. But that's where we went with this. Aesthetically driven, AI forbidden, and it's a really cool t-shirt in my opinion. It's a really popular topic right now, so I wanted to make a t-shirt out of it. So yeah, those are the designs for my graphic design inspired merch, and let me know what you guys think about that. I thought that was really fun. If I was to open a store, I would love to create graphic designer inspired merch. That's one of my favorite things to do, is make merchandise for bands and everything. So if I did have graphic designer inspired merch, who knows, we can make all kinds of different things and it would be interesting. And yeah, so that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out a lot. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Like I said, every Wednesday we drop videos and it's all over the place. Sometimes we're doing graphic design related things, sometimes we're doing album related things like album reviews and just different album covers that we like. All around it's basically music related. So if you like music and you enjoy designs and graphic arts and all that fun stuff, make sure you check out some other videos. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next one, and always rock and roll. Peace. I dig it.